Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Karin Caro, and this is the Daily Blue you're watching. Today, I'm here with an incredible story with Kate Fox. She is the author of My Pink Ribbons, a cancer survivor, a compelling story of survival and how you found out, and also a remarkable tale about family and living your life to the fullest. How are you today?
I am fantastic, thank you.
Now, that's an inspiration just in itself. After I tell everybody how you've battled breast cancer, your response is, I'm fantastic, and I just love that about you.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your story. Every cancer survivor has a story.
Yes.
Tell us yours.
My story is I had a regular mammogram yearly, and it came back with some things that we had to check. I was asked to do a stereotactic biopsy, which is a core biopsy. It's very invasive, very difficult.
Okay.
But that biopsy eventually came back with my cancer diagnosis, which was ductal carcinoma in situ.
Okay.
It means that the cancer was contained in one spot.
And that's a good thing.
Yes.
Okay.
For me, I am actually a miracle.
Right.
Because everything that has happened over the past year for me has been amazing. Everything has happened right at the correct time for me,
Right.
so that I could have an easy time,
Right.
and so that I could actually achieve my dream, which I've always wanted to publish a book. So
Right.
this
Look
is
at
my
that.
first book, and I am meeting incredible, incredible people
Sure.
that have had it so much worse than me,
Right.
and yet they want to come and give me a hug, and they want to talk to me, and it's just,
That's beautiful.
it's been amazing.
So in May of last year only,
Yes.
you go to the doctor, you have your regular mammogram,
Yes.
sorry, and they tell you you have this, you need to get it removed.
Well, they said you have to get more views. We need to check.
Okay.
And that was the norm. That's the
Okay.
norm for me. So I went for more views, la, 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 which was my attitude, really.
Yeah.
And that's when they decided they needed the biopsy.
So Kate, you weren't completely freaked out? Because if someone, I mean, I hear friends that go through that and they're like, not la la la, they're freaked out. Everyone's freaked out for them.
I wasn't surprised. I
Okay.
don't know what it was.
Wow.
I was given the benefit of just sort of, okay, now we have to fix it.
Right. Okay.
I have been so blessed by that. I
Right.
had a great place to work. They were supportive. They let me do whatever I needed.
Wow.
I had the support of my family, and I looked at it more as a business kind of thing.
Okay.
I did the research that I needed to. Not a lot of research, because if you do a lot of research, you will freak out.
Yeah.
But
Google
enough to
that
be. But I informed myself.
Okay.
I found doctors at Memorial Sloan Kettering in Comac who I trusted implicitly.
Why did you decide to go there?
I consulted with another doctor, and a friend of mine said, I have a girlfriend who went through this.
Okay.
This is where she went. This is her doctor. I said, all right, I'll do a consult. It might. And as soon as I met this doctor, who had everything laid out for me in her office, my X-ray, my films were up, and she was pointing out exactly what was going on, and she had a plan already.
Wow.
And so I knew as soon as I met her that she was my doctor.
What point from May till there are you at now? What month is that when you go to Comac, Sloan Kettering?
My diagnosis was July 1st,
Okay.
2013. I was in Comac, oh my goodness, by mid to late July. Apparently,
Yeah.
it was by
Okay.
by almost late July, because I was getting ready to go on a vacation, and they had to rush my BRCA testing,
Right.
because that would have been the determination, do I take one breast or two?
Right. Wow.
So yeah, I saw her the end of July, did the BRCA testing, went away on a vacation with my family.
You still went on vacation.
Because my kids needed it.
Yeah.
Because
How many
all
kids do you
summer,
have?
I have two, a
Okay.
13-year-old and a 5.5-year-old.
Wow.
And all they heard all summer was, oh, Mommy can't go in the pool, she has boo-boos. Because we
Right.
weren't telling them until we knew everything.
Wow.
Went on vacation, got an infection in one of the biopsy sites, which is very rare, while on vacation.
Oh, wow.
What are you going to do? And came back, had my mastectomy.
Okay. In August?
In
Now you're
August 26th.
Okay.
I had an expander put in, which is not the most comfortable thing, but it's, hey, it worked, and then on December 5th, actually, I had my implant put in.
Okay.
They did the exchange surgery. So
you're just over 6 months of your surgery.
yes, and I actually just had one on June 19th to do a little fixer-upper kind of thing, which hopefully is my last.
Okay, but all through this time, you find out, and somehow you went to writing.
Yes.
A lot of people, I
Yes.
think, do that as a way to express what they're feeling or what they're going through. What was your reason to getting into the writing?
That is why I do it.
Yeah.
I've been writing
Therapeutic, right?
for as long, yes. And that's sort of how I journal too. I'm a horrific journaler, even though during this year I've really tried and I'm doing better.
Right.
But my journal is my poetry.
Right.
And I've been publishing in Great South Bay Magazine for 10 years.
Okay, wow.
But I never did a book.
Right.
And as I was getting ready for the breast cancer walk at Jones Beach, the Making Strides, a light bulb went off and I said, let me see how many poems I've written since May. And I
Right.
had enough to do a book.
Wow.
So, I reached out to some friends who are in the business, my publisher, my mentor, who has done workshops with me. I said, can you please read this and tell me what you think?
Yeah.
And my mentor said, okay, you need to contact these publishers.
Okay.
And so the first publisher, she really liked them, and I loved what I read about them. I contacted them the end of December, and by January 7th, they said, we love your book, we want to publish it.
Very nice. Now, do you feel that this book is a tool to help people, or is it?
Oh, yeah.
It's a tool.
Oh,
to
yeah.
help.
I have some I've gifted it to who may be going through this.
Right.
Some friends, people I don't even know, have purchased it, and male, female, cancer, no cancer, because I'm not a dark and dire person.
Obviously.
So even though it does address what I was going through, I'm not crying boo-hoo.
Right.
I'm just saying, this is what I'm thinking right now. This is
Right.
what I'm thinking right now.
I mean, some of the titles are even just lemonade. Very easy to read, but comforting. So that's just what you're going through at that time.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of, you said you're not a deep and dark person at all, and I can see that. But your site is Kate's Pity Party. Tell me
Well,
about that. KatesPityParty.com.
I had the idea for the site a little while ago. I said,
Before cancer.
Before cancer.
Wow.
And it was on the back burner because I think everybody needs a pity party now and then, and it doesn't have to be bad.
Right.
It doesn't have to be boo hoo hoo poor me. It can be, all right, I feel bad for a minute, and now I feel better, because that's really what a pity party is.
Right.
It's supposed to make you feel better.
Right.
And so I held on to that concept, and as I was, getting ready to publish the book, I said, okay, I need to do this now.
Right.
A good friend of mine, my husband's also, he does this for a living. He helped me get it up and running.
Okay.
And so I blog on it now. It will grow. I try to do inspirational blogs because that's sort of who I am.
Right. Right.
And I'm trying to grow it. I put it to the side, though, until I got through this last surgery.
Right.
Because I said, okay, I had planned a fundraiser
Right.
for Making Strides for June 8th. I sort of launched my book, and I made over $700.
That's
My
wonderful.
first fundraiser ever.
Wonderful.
I do, work with the local Making Strides chapter.
Right.
And so I'm just sort of trying to move on, make people see that, in my experience,
Right.
everything happens for a reason.
I agree, 100%. But I'm in awe of you because of having a house, children, a new job, going through this whole life-changing experience. I mean, that is extraordinary. You must have had a tremendous amount of support to stay positive.
I did.
I hope you did.
I did,
Okay.
and you know what? Part of it, I love my kids. I have a husband, 2 kids, a house, like you said, a job. I wanted to make sure my mom was okay.
Really?
That was really, I knew I would be okay.
Yeah.
I found the doctors I needed, my oncologist, my plastic surgeon.
Yeah.
I found, my GP is fantastic,
Yeah.
And so I had all of that, and I had the family that let me do what I needed. But when a mother has to watch her daughter go through something,
Yeah.
and I could see it in her face.
Wow.
So I had to
Make sure she was okay.
I had to worry about my mommy.
Right, absolutely. Now, I think that this is a question that a lot of women would like to hear. I mean, how do you go through worrying about losing a breast or worried about what it's going to look like. I mean, it's a part of being a woman, and it's a part of what we feel and do. I mean,
Yes.
that's a tremendous struggle, and is it part of your book?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Good.
There are poems in there about what I think, what I feel, the discord that I felt that my body was going through as I was going through the expansion. Because, I have one natural breast, and then I have one that it had this little expander at first.
Right.
And then they'd keep pumping it, and I said, oh my God,
Right.
I can't take it anymore.
Right.
But I definitely addressed it in that. I was a little afraid.
Right.
I took pictures. And there's a poem in there about that because my husband said, why are you taking pictures? What are you going to do? You're going to show them to everybody? I said, I don't know. I don't know, but I need to keep track of what they looked like before,
Right.
during, and I was very bruised for quite a long time.
Right.
Because of all of the procedures I was going through.
Right.
So I needed to keep track of what did they look like, what did they look like then, what do they look like now,
Yeah.
because I need to compare.
Right.
Are they perfect? No. Do they essentially match? Oh, yes.
Wow.
So
Remarkable.
I'm thrilled.
Are they better than before?
Yes and no.
Okay, we don't have to go there.
Yes and no. I did have
But
the
they're
one
cancer-free.
lifted. They are cancer-free.
And
I've
that's the
been
most
cancer-free
important
since
thing.
August 26th. And
Good for you. I'm really proud of you.
I'm living a dream. Thank you.
It's incredible. Now, one day you heard a song, you said, and
Yes, and
what did it mean to you?
Last year, I heard the music of James Maddock, and he is an Englishman,
Okay.
but he lives in New York. He's been in New York for, I want to say, 10 years, and he's just a brilliant songwriter. And so I heard his song, Beautiful Now, and it sort of hit home anyway, middle-aged, and it's talking about how, when you're 17, you're beautiful, but you're way more beautiful now.
Right.
And as I was going through all the procedures and surgeries, I started listening to it more and more, and I said, oh dear God, you know what? What we go through is what makes us beautiful.
Wow.
So I can't look back and say, I am more beautiful now than I ever hope to be.
Wow.
In my opinion.
Right.
But because of who I am and who I've become because of what I've gone through.
Wow. You certainly are a beautiful person. I mean, I'm in awe today of everything that you've been through, your candid qualities, and just looking to help others based on what you've gone through. And I appreciate that so much.
Thank
so
you.
Tell us where we can get your book.
Okay. You can get my book on Amazon.com,
Okay.
BarnesandNoble.com,
Great.
on my publisher's website, Local Gems Poetry Press, and actually there's a link on KatesPityParty.com.
That's great.
Which I should be able to say. And I just want to say, we have to talk about cancer.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm, this big loud thing. I had an easy experience in relative terms, but I'm also willing to put myself out there and talk about it, because if we don't talk about it, we're not going to take care of it.
Yeah. I mean, for you, it was prevention was the cure.
Absolutely.
They caught it before it spread. And like you said, in a different circumstance, if it started spreading, then you would have a totally different story.
Completely.
So prevention is the cure. If you want to reach out to Kate, please go to katespityparty.com. And also, Kate, tell us what's in the future for you. I'd like to hear that.
I am working on editing my second poetry collection,
Wow.
which is not a cancer collection. I wanted to at least follow my literary dreams as well.
Good.
As well as my third collection, which is the rest of my story to date
Because
about
this
my
stops.
cancer experience. This stops mid-reconstruction.
Okay.
The last poem in the book actually is the poem I wrote about an hour after I did the breast cancer walk last year.
Wow.
Which, the picture on the cover my girlfriend had put on the fence before anyone else got there.
Okay.
So that I would realize that I'm a survivor,
Yeah.
which I don't cry often, but that got me. Sorry.
I think that's certainly saying that, hey, here's my friend, and you're not here because you're struggling or just raising money, which a lot of people go to that walk just to raise money and support family members, but you are here because you survived and thrived.
Yes.
And
I'm
thrived.
thriving every day. It's a great life.
It's just an incredible and ability to speak to you, and the opportunity to speak to you and get to know you, and I really appreciate all of that you've done and been through. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Karin Caro here with Kate Fox on thedailyblue.com. Please go to katespityparty.com and check her out, hear her stories.